Alright, so today we're going to be talking about how strong is Jaegyon Na, or as I'd like to call him, Canadian boy, right? So, first off, he's definitely above most kings, right? We see most kings are pretty much garbage. The fact that Eli can, by the end of it, solo some shows that, but I guess the statement from James Lee talking about the two 10,000 squad leaders could technically solo all the kings Jitai, regrouped. That lets us know that not all kings are equal at all, despite what Jinrong said. The thing is, Jinrong, when he said, "Do you think all kings are equal?" and proceeds to practically lose to Gongseob and Taesu, he would have lost if the fight continued, right? Because he wouldn't have gone rage mode or whatever. He was getting tired and shit. Realistically, the only reason why that didn't really work in that scenario is because Gongseob and Taesu are high level kings, as well as is Jinrong, right? Jinrong with his elbows probably equals one of them. You could argue is slightly above one of them. I think the main defining factor that puts Jinrong above them is his conviction punches he took from, you know, Gaprion. My bad, I was lagging. So yeah, the thing is, we know this guy's always been kind of fishy, right? I mean, ever since the Chongyong arc, right? It just feels like he's been hiding something, like strength wise and everything. PTG didn't really want to utilize him. Everyone else fought against like random trash. He off screened them. So I guess we don't see his martial art or something. And then when everyone else started fighting like their mid low level king opponents, he was the one who was gonna get matched up with James Lee, yet he didn't fight him. Then when James Lee was running away, we see he was the closest to catching him. So it's like their way. I mean, it was surely to hype up the Incheon arc, right? Despite what they did with the Busan arc, making him lose to Allied. But we see he was playing around and whatnot. We see fights against Big Dan and he overwhelms him. Even though Big Dan hasn't gone serious at that time. And most recently, we saw him fight against his other counterpart, the other half-assed king, Yu Jai, right? Snake Dude, as I like to call him. And he completely destroys him. Like, base to base, he was kind of losing. Once he pulled out his special move, right? Gong Seop has the Iron Fortress. Taesu has the Ultimate Fist, or Punch, or whatever. This guy has the Death Kick, right? And it was pretty crazy. If you see the Taiwanese version, you'll see it looked like a kind of meteorite or something just slammed down to do. I don't know how bro didn't pop, but it's powerful. He combines three thresholds. I think it's the first ability to do that. So it kind of goes a step above Taesu. Taesu combined strength and speed to make his ultimate fist for now. Jaegyon Na combined technique, strength, and speed to make his death kick. Seems like a way to say he's above Taesu, right? Despite the whole, Busan thing where he one shots Taesu, that was, getting Taesu off guard, to be fair. But like he says himself, that was the only way to get him out of the picture quickly, right? And also, Taesu should be pretty damn durable considering Newton's law, right? If you can give it, you can take it. But I don't know if that applies for Lucasm logic, but it should. So we know Jaegyon Na, at the very least, very high level king, right? Stronger than Taesu, stronger than Gonseop. Is he stronger than Jinrong? I'm not sure. I want to say Rage Jinrong, the one that, actually hurt. I couldn't even say he hurt him. The one that kind of amused Jitae, right? That version of him that tried to hit him with his own axe. That Jinrong I still believe to be superior to Jaegyon Na. However, I think there's more to come from Canadian Boy, right? He's still interested in fighting Pachon, it seems. So maybe Daniel loses, he pulls up on Pachon, and I'm guessing he's gonna use Dev Kick again. We're gonna learn some like, oh, he can only really use it once a day, right? Kind of like how Teisu's Ultimate Fist goes, and Pachon somehow survives it in that case, and then beats him. I don't think he's gonna get any more impressive feats. I don't think he has anything left, right? Because he pretty much states, oh, this move was for Pachon, right? It's probably the most we'll see of him, really. But maybe, him fighting against Pachon with a weapon, place him a bit higher. For now, I want to say he is, if you don't count Jitai, if you count Jitai, he's probably the third strongest king, right? You can argue Jinrong to be second and Jitai to be first. I mean, Jitai is first regardless, right? There's no king that should be able to test him. However, if he fights against Pachon well, who I believe to be pretty much Jinrong level, maybe a bit higher, but then again, I think when Jinrong goes rage mode, he slightly surpasses Pachon, right? He should be slightly above Pachon by then, but he can't keep it going. You know what I mean? It's like Jinrong's top speed is higher than Pachon's top speed, but overall Pachon will finish the race faster. That's how I see it. If you get it, you get it, right? So yeah, that's why I think Jaegyon Na should be top 3 kings. I think he easily defeats Ji Chang, right? Ji Chang kind of got power crept. The fact that, he was losing to Lil Dan. Okay, it wasn't losing to Lil Dan, but he did get rusty. We gotta admit, he lost to old Elite and everything. So there's that. Aside for that, I don't think we're gonna see any more impressive feats from Jaegyon Na, so he probably solidifies himself as the third strongest king, unless Yujai gets up and does something, which I doubt. Yeah. How strong is he? I think you could argue he's possibly at the bottom of top tier, right? Where I would put Johan as well. Simply because James Lee said, he's a threat, right? If you can be a threat to the strongest in the verse, you're probably at the very least in the same tier, despite being at the lowest. At the same time, James Lee likes to gas up a lot of the kings, right? For example, Gong Xiao being like, oh, if that punch landed, I probably would have been done for. We know that's probably bullshit, right? However, James Lee probably does have an endurance problem. So, fast opponents, if they catch him off guard, he might be cooked. So, yeah. What does that mean about Jaegyon Na? I'd say he's third strongest king. He's pretty powerful. He should potentially not die in this arc. I know a lot of people think he will, kind of like Seongji, but I think Seongji's still alive. That's a video for another time, right? But yeah, yeah, he should be good. Honestly, he'll be a good addition against Jitai. I'm not saying he'll do anything against Jitai. He'll get absolutely demolished, but against his army and everything, maybe he can take out like 2, 3 Mexican gangsters at the very least. Seeing them go against Ares, bro. I mean, god damn, your average Mexican, trash is like pretty OP in this verse. So yeah, that's gonna be it. Thank y'all for watching, and I'll see y'all next time. All right, adios.